Thanks for tuning in. 1967 was a great year, as performance continued to be an essential aspect of muscle cars. These cars were built for those who loved quarter-mile racing as well as higher speeds. In this episode, we'll review the top speed muscle cars from the year 1967. Stay tuned, and be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as we get into the countdown. Number 12. Chevy Camaro Z28, 120 miles per hour. Chevy introduced the 1967 Camaro Z28 to compete in the Sports Car Club of America Trans Am Series. The Mustang had become dominant in the past years, and Chevy's main aim was to design this car to challenge it in the race. The car's short, wide body and sloping roofline helped it cut through the air more efficiently than many competitors. Its suspension featured coil springs on the front and a solid rear axle with multi-leaf springs, which improved handling. Under the hood was a 302 cubic inch V8 with a forged steel crankshaft, solid lifters, high-flow cylinder heads, and a high-performance camshaft. It was rated at 290 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque, but in reality it produced closer to 400 horsepower. The 302 V8 was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and the Z28 could reach 120 miles per hour. Number 11. Pontiac GTO Ram Air 400, 120 miles per hour. The GTO Performance Package was an optional upgrade for the Pontiac Tempest from 1964 until 1967, when it evolved into a standalone model. This car was aimed at younger buyers who wanted power to compete with muscle cars like the Chevy SS and Mustang GT, its top rivals. The 1967 GTO's long hood, wide stance, and sloping roofline gave it a sleek yet aggressive look and better stability at high speeds. Its suspension system was also designed to provide a comfortable ride and handle the engine's high torque. Under the hood was a 400 cubic inch V8, which featured a specialized air induction system, hence the name Ram Air. This system forced cooler, denser air into the engine through a scoop to improve the fuel-air mixture, increasing the engine's power. The 400 Ram Air V8 produced 360 horsepower, 438 pound-feet of torque. It was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and according to the car's speedometer readings, it could reach a top speed of 120 miles per hour. Number 10. Ford Mustang GT Fastback 390, 124 miles per hour. The 1967 Ford Mustang GT Fastback 2+2 offered seating for 4, 2 in the front and 2 in the back, hence the 2+2 designation. It was a significant evolution of the Mustang as it could take the lead in races. The car was designed to compete with the Chevy Camaro, Pontiac GTO, and Dodge Coronet RT, which were the race giants at that time. Compared to earlier models, it featured a more aggressive design, like a wider, more muscular body with a redesigned front grille and more pronounced side scoops. Additionally, it had a sloped roofline that reduced the wind drag. Ford offered a heavier-duty suspension package for this car with upgraded shocks and sway bars for improved cornering performance. Under the hood was a 390 cubic inch V8 that featured a 4-barrel carburetor. This carburetor enabled better breathing for the engine to produce 320 horsepower and 427 pound-feet of torque. The engine was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and the car's top speed was 124 miles per hour. Number 9. Chevy Nova SS 327, 126 miles per hour. Chevy positioned the 67 Nova SS as a budget-friendly option for drivers seeking speed without the size or expense of full-size muscle cars like the Camaro or Chevelle. The Super Sport package transformed the Nova into a true muscle car, especially when paired with GM's powerful 327 V8. The 1967 Nova SS small size and relatively lightweight body reduced the wind resistance and easing the engine work. This made the Nova handle better even than some larger muscle cars believed to be more powerful. Its 327 cubic inch small block V8 featured a cast iron block, hydraulic lifters, and a 4-barrel carburetor, which enabled it to produce 350 horsepower and 355 pound-feet of torque. This engine was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and the car could reach a top speed of 126 miles per hour. Number 8. Shelby Mustang GT350, 129 miles per hour. The Shelby GT350 was one of Carroll Shelby's high-performance versions of the Mustang. Its striking design made it one of the most desirable performance cars of the 60s. The car's exceptional performance made it a serious competitor to Chevy's Camaro. Its fiberglass hood included a functional hood scoop to increase airflow to the engine. Also, it had a revised front grille and rear spoiler, all of which helped reduce the drag for performance and stability. Its suspension system was tuned for better handling than the standard Mustang. The front featured coil springs and heavy-duty shock absorbers, while the rear used a live axle with leaf springs. In addition to this suspension, the car had upgraded sway bars, which added handling capability. Under the hood was a 289 cubic inch V8 modified to deliver around 306 horsepower and 329 pound-feet of torque. Some of the major modifications included an aluminum intake manifold, upgraded heads, and a dual exhaust system. The 289 was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and the car could reach a top speed of 129 miles per hour. Number 7. Shelby Mustang GT500, 132 miles per hour. The 1967 Shelby GT500 was the first Mustang to feature a big block engine, marking a significant evolution in the Shelby Mustang lineage. Ford intended to introduce an upscale Shelby GT350 to compete directly with other big block muscle cars like the Camaro Z28 and Pontiac GTO. Under the hood of the 67 Shelby GT500 roared a 428 cubic inch V8. This big block engine featured dual 4-barrel carburetors mounted on an aluminum intake manifold, which helped increase airflow and fuel delivery. The 428 was officially rated at 355 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, but it's widely believed that it produced closer to 400 horsepower. It was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and the car could reach a top speed of 132 miles per hour. Are you ready for our 6 top-speed muscle cars from the year 1967? Be sure to subscribe to our channel, which helps us create more episodes. Number 6. Oldsmobile 442W30, 132 miles per hour. The 1967 Oldsmobile 442 was a powerful muscle car that originated as an auction package for the Oldsmobile Cutlass but grew into a standalone model. The 442 designation originally meant a 4-barrel carburetor, a 4-speed manual transmission, and dual exhaust. This car had functional air scoops beneath the front bumper, improving air intake for the engine and giving it an aggressive appearance. The suspension system was designed to provide stability and comfort while handling the torque of the large V8 engine. Under the hood was a powerful 400 cubic inch V8 fitted with a single 4-barrel Rochester carburetor. The carburetor helped the engine breathe better to produce 360 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. The engine was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and the car could reach a top speed of 132 miles per hour. Number 5. Plymouth Barracuda Formula S 383, 136 miles per hour. The 1967 Plymouth Barracuda Formula S 383 was Chrysler's response to the Ford Mustang. Its design started as a fastback version of the Plymouth Valiant compact car in 1964, but by 1967, it had become a standalone model. The Barracuda Formula S was notable for its sleek body, which contributed to a relatively low drag coefficient for its time. Its chassis was derived from the A-body platform and shared with the Plymouth Valiant. The Formula S package added a heavy-duty suspension system, which included upgraded springs, shocks, and anti-roll bars that improved the handling characteristics. Under the hood was a 383 cubic inch V8 featuring a single 4-barrel carburetor. The carburetor helped the engine breathe better, producing 280 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. This engine was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and the car could reach 136 miles per hour. Number 4. Shelby Cobra 427 Super Snake, 140 miles per hour. The 1967 Shelby Cobra 427 Super Snake was a rare muscle car renowned for its incredible performance. It was a modified version of the already legendary Shelby Cobra 427, designed for races only, but now became a road-going version and a legendary sports car. The Super Snake body was lightweight with a low-wide stance and a sleek, rounded nose, allowing it to achieve high speeds and maintain stability on the road. The car had functional air vents and scoops that cooled the engine and improved aerodynamic efficiency. It also featured a suspension setup designed to handle the car's extreme performance capabilities while still providing a comfortable driving experience. Under the hood was a 427 cubic inch V8 that featured 2 Holley 4-barrel carburetors. The engine also had a specially designed aluminum intake manifold and a high-lift camshaft to maximize airflow for better performance. This engine was officially rated at 800 horsepower and 600 pound-feet of torque. It was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and this street version could reach 140 miles per hour. Number 3. Plymouth GTX Hemi, 145 miles per hour. The 1967 Plymouth Hemi GTX was introduced as a high-performance version of the Plymouth Belvedere and was known as the gentleman's muscle car. This model was an alternative to the already reputed Plymouth Roadrunner and a competitor to cars like the Pontiac GTO and the Chevy SS. The GTX's capable suspension setup allowed it to handle reasonably well on the track. Under the hood was the 426 cubic inch Hemi, The hemispherical chambers improved airflow and combustion efficiency, resulting in more power. The Hemi produced 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, and was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission. The GTX Hemi could reach a top speed of 145 miles per hour. Number 2. Dodge Coronet RT426 Hemi, 149 miles per hour. The 1967 Coronet RT was a sporty trim that featured Chrysler's infamous Hemi engine, the 426. The 1967 Coronet RT Hemi was one of the most revered mid-size cars that combined raw power with aggressive styling. Its design featured sharp lines, a wide front grille, and prominent RT badging. The RT also boasted a heavy, solid construction that helped it feel planted on the road. The Hemi produced 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. This legendary engine was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission, and the car could reach a top speed of 149 miles per hour. Number 1. Ford 427 Fairlane R-Code, 153 miles per hour. The 1967 Ford Fairlane 427 R-Code was a high-performance version of the Ford Fairlane. This car was specifically designed for drag racing and street performance, with the R-Code designation signifying a vehicle equipped with Ford's most potent power plant, the 427 cubic inch monster. The Fairlane 427 was a limited production car, which made it the most sought after. It was known for its raw power and no-nonsense design, as well as a serious competitor to muscle cars like the Chevy SS and Pontiac GTO. The 427 V8 featured dual 4-barrel carburetors, which improved airflow and fuel delivery. The engine produced 425 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque, and was mated to a 4-speed manual transmission. With all this raw power, this car could reach a top speed of 153 miles per hour. Thanks for watching today's episode. Which of these muscle cars is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, if you haven't already yet, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to click the like button and hit the bell icon to be notified when we release new episodes.